Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Derek Schomer. I'm going to do a... Oops, I noticed that everything shakes when I touch this. I'm going to do a quick video on the ice maker that I own. This is the Ice 'N Easy. It's about $210 on Amazon.com. We've had a lot of people asking about this ice maker, and I don't really understand the need or the desire for that, because maybe it's just because people don't know anything about ice makers. So this specific ice maker is $210 on Amazon, and it doesn't have any plumbing. So whenever you make ice, you pour the water into the machine, it cycles it up, freezes it, shoots out little ice that looks like this. It's got a little ice hole in it because it sits in a little pipe. I'll try and do a B-roll at the beginning to show you so you can see how it works, but that is pretty much the ice. It's definitely got a white color to it, and some critics don't like that. They like the clear ice. They say, oh, it's not professional to use white ice. I'm not professional, so I don't really care. The only downfall to it other than that is when the first run, the very first time you make ice that day, they're pretty small. Those are pretty much useless. So you really got to go through a couple cycles. The other thing is that you have to drain it when you're done. Otherwise the water will sit in there. If you use it a lot, that might not be a problem, but there is this drain hole in the back, so you either have to drain it into a big mug a big jar like I do, or bring it into the kitchen, dump it, unless it's near the kitchen. Get creative and put a pipe. I shut it off while it was icing, and now it's all thawing out. Let's see what else there is there to note. Here's the trap, so you can see where it traps the ice. Then what I do with the ice is I take all the ice as it fills up. Once it's full, it stops. It will drain, and if you forget about it, it'll melt down and drip and recycle back to the top and remake ice again. Normally it will just shut off and stop, and then you go in the next day and you forgot, oh, I was making ice. It's also, you can put this down and make it a little more chill and quiet, but it's not a refrigerating device. It literally makes ice and then it will melt. So you gotta babysit it a little bit and put the ice someplace. And what I do is I dump them in these Ziploc bags. Here's the remnants of one set. So I throw them in these Ziploc bags, and then when we do our cocktail show, I unzip it, throw it into an ice container, and I'm good to go. The benefit for some people who are having parties is they want to be able to make ice continuously. So what I suggest you do is you fill this up, maybe 3 bags worth, and then let that thing run during the party. And as people are blowing through these bags of ice, you already have, this will make almost a whole Ziploc bag of ice right here. I usually use about 2 to fill it all the way, or 1.5 to fill it all the way, and help you keep up if you're blowing through ice and you don't want to go to the store. The main concern that I've experienced is when you have those bags of ice, you buy what you think is enough, and then everybody's having a good time, then all of a sudden you find you're running low, you're running out, and you might not be in the condition where you can go driving. So, if you're basically saying, buddy, put your keys in this basket, you're not going anywhere, then you run into an issue where you've run out of ice. And the ice makers and the refrigerators typically make a small batch, and they seem to do it really slow, so they don't always keep up. So that's kind of the real desire for a device like this. When you can buy a couple dollars a bag, it comes down to personal preference, freezer space, for how you want to handle that situation. But since people have been asking me, there you go. Can you justify $210 on an ice maker that on Amazon has 2.5 stars? I haven't had any issues with it, so I don't know. People just complain, whatever. It's probably valid complaints, I don't know. Check out the reviews if you're concerned. That's kind of how I started. To look at the ice maker, I went through different reviews to find the one that didn't suck the most. And that was really it. So it comes down to you. Do you want to spend $210 and do this process, or do you just go out and buy bags of ice when you need it? Personal preference. For me, we have a cocktail show. It's a little different. I'd be buying bags of ice all the time. So for me, it's a convenience. I start on a Thursday night, maybe a Friday night, build up the ice, then on Saturday if we record, I've got the ice ready to go. That's about it. So that's the Ice 'N Easy. It's got 3 different size ice. I always go with the biggest. There's a small one, a medium, and a large. What else has it got? Really, that's about it. It'll also warn you when the water level's low, so you can pour some more water in there. It's got a power button. It's real basic. It's real simple. And as long as you're cool with what I just described as the process of maintaining it and, routinely clean it out, it's as good as you're going to get for an ice maker that's not plugged into a wall and feeding the water, filtered water, through it itself. Try filtering it if you want to. I cannot get the ice to not be white. I don't know what to do. So that's a completely different discussion. And there you go. That's the Ice and Easy. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. We're teaching how to make ice.